You're live.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Brian Terrian here. Turn my camera on so you can see what's going on. Welcome to our Wednesday YouTube live event. Today we have a holiday Thanksgiving theme for you. We're going to talk about some things that you're going to be thankful for to help you get and keep your disability benefits. I want to talk about some boundary setting tips and techniques as you approach the holidays and the extracurricular activities and the demands upon your time. And then I have my partner in crime here with me, Mr. Philip Price. We are going to take some questions, and we're going to do it in a different format where you'll be able to enter your questions into the chat feature on Facebook or YouTube. Or today, first time ever, give you the opportunity to call in. We'll give you the details of that when we get ready to roll. All right, Philip. Good. So a few things in advance that I want to go over is we had some interesting questions and things submitted this week. So I want to talk about those first. And this first one is a common one. Call it kind of in the generic category. It reads, I've been denied twice, denied by a disability judge. I have 3 RFC letters from my doctor stating I cannot work. It's been 3.1 years. Can I win my case? Thank you. So you can spin this, Philip. I'm sure you've had 1,000 of these questions that you've been asked. Can I win my case? Well, the challenge is it's a very limited amount of information. And in order for, like, for me, even after doing this for 17 years, there's 192,000 people here. Usually at like, 6, 7, 8 minutes, I can get a pretty good idea, sometimes within certainty, that there'll be a chance to either win or not. But oftentimes it takes a pretty good engaged 14, 15-minute conversation to cover work, conditions, treatment, limitations. So again, no disrespect to those people that asked that question. But it's just for me to, or anybody really, to answer that question, it's just more information is required. Yeah, I'm sure you can relate to that, Philip, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's another variation of that I just recently, well, actually, it was this morning I saw on Facebook where I've been denied. I've got 1,000 pages medical records and so on and so forth. So when this happens, it really is down to, oh, hey, your camera's just turned on, Philip. There you are.
It's finally.
Wow, welcome back. It's like the light of day. Um, so to put it in two categories, you either don't qualify for disability benefits. It just could be that you're chasing something that you have been given an indication that you could receive and you're not medically qualified. Or it could be that you haven't worked enough. So that's one. Or you're doing something wrong. I mean, it's really, right? It's either one of those two things that is the barrier for you. So I'm in hopes that if you follow the information here that we provide, um, that we help you out. Okay, let's get into it. For Social Security disability applicants and recipients, I've boiled this down into like just a few things that you would be really thankful that you had. And I see folks joining, logging on now. And again, welcome. We're going to talk about the 3 key things that you'll be thankful that you have. And then we're going to take some questions, Philip and I will, from y'all. So here's the first kind of category. There's several things that fall into this category. Um, if you are just starting or thinking about or know somebody that is perhaps perfectly healthy, I feel the most important thing that people can do while they're still working and in good health, the number one thing that they would be thankful for is to have private disability insurance. And the reason for that is the disability approval process, like if you're in the great state of Texas, like Philip is, it's
Good luck.
200 yeah, hook 'em. It's 233 days to get a decision. And maybe you're sitting on some resources that would allow you to do that if you want to spend them. But if you make the decision to get a private disability insurance that you can either get through your company or buy it individually, then you're going to get 60% of your income covered while you go through this arduous process of getting approved for disability. And that is for those again that haven't started the process and still working, or maybe around the Thanksgiving dinner table, you can bring that up, as an interesting conversation starter to help people out. So that's one. And I'm going to include some resources. Actually, I already have about these where you can learn more in the description on our YouTube live stream. You can just go underneath this, preferably when you're done, and you can see the different resources that support this. The next key thing is getting a diagnosis and treatment for all of your conditions, whether you're going through the approval process or already approved. If you're already approved and you don't have treatment and you get called on a CDR, you can run into some real problems in keeping your benefits. So getting all of your conditions diagnosed, let's say that you got approved 2 years ago and maybe you developed high blood pressure, you think you have it. Get it diagnosed and get it treated so that it's in your medical records. Because I'm not encouraging you to get conditions. I'm just saying that for disability income insurance, it would help you solidify and survive a review or get approved. All right. Next one is understand how to communicate your situation. Philip, you run this very active Facebook group, not to put you on the spot, but I'm sure that you see situations where people are attempting to explain their situation from a condition perspective, right? Yeah. And it's unfortunate that you have conditions. Maybe it's a degenerative disc disease, you've had a torn rotator cuff, you've got diabetes, and it's caused limitations for you, but those conditions are not what Social Security is looking for specifically to help you get and keep your benefits. It's the limitations associated with them. So we've done different live events that teach you how to communicate in 2 sentences or less that you qualify. And it would be something like this. I'm not able to sit for more than 15 minutes. I'm not able to stand for more than 20 minutes. And I used to be able to lift like lots of weights, but now it's less than 8 pounds. And this is because I have diabetes, I have degenerative disc disease, and a torn rotator cuff. I'm not able to work. So you've communicated your limitations, you've communicated your conditions, and why you're not able to work. They go hand in hand.
Just saying I can't do it anymore won't work.
That's right. Can't do it anymore, won't work. Yep. And just in case you've been living under a rock and you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the news and the media, or here on this channel, I would make certain that you are aware of what the guidelines are for working when you're going through the approval process, and then working and earning after you're approved. It is totally fine to work. Actually, it's encouraged, but people are not paying attention to the regulations and they're earning too much money, and it's causing what's called an overpayment. Philip, there was just one in your Facebook group this morning.
Yes, I saw that.
The small one, though, it was like less than 10 grand. Yeah. So,
And they go back, they'll come back on you 10, 15, 20 years.
Actually, that one I believe was from his childhood, he said. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can pull it up. I'll show everybody what's going on. Um, so that's a bit of an outlier where somebody, oh, look, there's me live in your Facebook group. Here it is right here. I'm going to share my screen. Sorry to call this person out, but you put it in a Facebook group. It's public. Okay, so this individual's overpayment was they's being requested to pay back $4,009.32. Okay. Lady said I could ask for forgiveness, but any advice? This is from when I was a kid of 15, I think that says. Yeah, both my parents are deceased. So here's an adult individual being asked to repay money when he was 15. So this is one really unique situation, but if you like follow on our YouTube channel, there was an overpayment segment that um, was highlighting the Anderson Cooper 60 Minutes review on these, as well as the work that we've done with attorney James Brown and how to prevent them. But most of these are caused by people earning, if the limit is $1,050 a month now this year, and they're earning $1,600, and then in 2 years they end up getting an overpayment for 10 months that they shouldn't have been paid benefits, and it could be $15,000 or $20,000. Those are the things that you want to make sure that you understand the rules and regulations. So just so that you know, here at the Disability Digest since 2007, we've had disability recipients working here. People get reviews, certainly, but nobody here that's ever worked here has had their benefits stopped or questioned in any way that would have them removed. So again, what I'm saying is it's totally fine to work. Just understand what the deal is. Okay. All right. So just in this segment, the key things are if you're working or know somebody that is, get insured. Diagnosis, treatment, understand how to communicate your condition and your limitations, and then watch how much you are earning. And this is the work that we do here. We're here every week doing this. So Philip, maybe not every week, but where we do these free events. And then you also, many of you I can see on the list out here are also members of the Disability Digest, which there's no charge for that. So yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to all those well wishers out there. We're going to continue for a few more minutes, and then we're going to take some questions from the audience. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is boundaries. Now, I'm an able-bodied person, and boundaries certainly apply to me, but this is targeted and ideally helpful for those of you that are entering the holidays that are, you have schedules, maybe you have travel, you have excess activity that you're expected to adhere to. And I don't pretend in any way to understand the challenges that individuals face. But I have learned from lots of people doing this, one simple strategy that has helped people manage this. And it's really, it's about having your own personal boundaries and then communicating your boundaries with others. So I'm going to put up on my screen here a find it right here. Okay. So this is from the Cleveland Clinic, and it's called the spoon theory. If anybody's familiar with the spoon theory out there, would you just, if you would, it would be great to hear from you. Yeah, I'm familiar with it, and this is how I use it. Um, and I'm going to put this link in, it's in the resources or the description of, oh, that's not what I want to do. It's in the video description around YouTube, but I'm going to put it directly into the chat. So the simplest way for me to communicate this and what the spoon theory is that picture yourself as an able-bodied person pre-conditions. And that when you'd get up in the morning, I should have brought some spoons with me, but I'll use my fingers instead. You have 5 spoons, and your spoons represent your energy level. And you're a healthy individual, you're raising 2 kids, you have a spouse, you have a career. And you need to utilize your spoons to effectively manage throughout the day-to-day tasks that you have so that you can successfully spread yourself amongst those different commitments. So, and at the end of the day, when you look at it, and maybe you are using a 2 of those or 3 of those spoons for work. Let's say you're using 3 of those spoons for work. One of them is personal and one of them is family. And those are your 5 spoons that you have. All right. But then life changes and you don't have that same energy level. Like even the energy level that you're at, like now, whether it's mine or Philip's or yours, the reality of it is it's likely going to continue to decrease. It just does with age and in addition to health. So now you're in a situation where something in your life has happened and your condition it has an influence over your day-to-day activity. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't have 5 spoons. I don't know how many you have, but let's say that you're down to 3 spoons for the day. So, okay, you can't do 5. So now you've got 3. And how do you manage those 3 spoons of energy? One of the key things is you're going to have to learn to say no. And which is a great thing to do. I mean, I think the ability to say no to people empowers you to do that. So I see that there's some people, L. Carlson's spoon theories help me avoid doing too much in a given day. Good. Um, I don't see any others that are relative to this. So anyway, check it out, especially around the holidays. If you are, in a family situation, you could use, I mean, if I had the chance, I'd use one of my, I don't have spoons to get out of doing dishes, frankly. But so hopefully you find this helpful. Philip, anything to add on this?
So I had 15 to 20 spoons to use
Right,
a
right.
day.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I would expect everybody does. And we just have to do the best we can with what we have, right?
Yeah.
What other option is there? Yeah. Um, okay. So, next thing that I want to do is we are going to take some questions. So we're going to do things a little differently today. I am going to address some of the questions that are in the group, and then we're going to have the opportunity for you to call in. I'm going to give you a number when we're done answering some of these questions. You can call in with the directions. You'll be on the phone with me. And I expect that everybody, if this process works correctly, will be able to hear you out there. So, Philip, you have any questions on your side you want to start with? While you're getting fired up, I've got one here from Chris who was in early. I want to help him out. Okay, Chris writes, I'm going to receive my SSDI lump sum. Good for you. Um, Continuing disability review is in 7 months. I expect you're young then. Um, I have a degrading condition and I want to take a trip to Europe before I can't. How will this affect my benefits? Well, it depends what you do in Europe. If you go to Europe and your condition has physical restrictions and you have pictures of you horseback riding and jet skiing, it's probably not going to be that good. But if you take a casual trip to Europe, just the fact that you're traveling, um, that will not have or should not have an influence on your ability to work. You're simply sitting in passenger, presume you're flying in a plane. So I say bon voyage, Chris. Have a wonderful, wonderful trip. Philip, chime in when you're ready.
Can anyone tell me what to expect when going to a mental status exam, along with what to do if there's anything I should not do or say?
All right, that's a good one. Um, there's really like six key things. And if here at the Disability Digest, we have, I'm going to go through some of them with you, but you have access to a free membership. We'll tell you more about that at the end. And then with your membership, there's a disability approval course. One of the segments of the approval course is exactly the what to do, the six things to do in these exams. These these are really critical to your approval. Um, so a few of the tips that are important is don't go alone because you're in a room with another doctor and they have been known to rush through these things to document steps in the procedure that they don't do, believe it or not. So bring an advocate, and your advocate's job is to really document what went on in that exam to hold the examiner accountable, whether it's physical or for mental, and to make sure that if you have a condition, for example, that is a bad back, that they're doing an evaluation that is going to be consistent with that. One of the other things, the second tip that I'll share with you is it's good to bring in either a really good summary of all of your diagnosis, like most of the patient portals will have a summary where you bring it in, say, listen, these are all my conditions, this is what I'm being treated for, and this is what I expect you to complete your exam on, because otherwise you are presuming that they've read your chart, right? So those are two. Good one. Can you tell me why they help people in Oklahoma get their stimulus checks? I don't know, Lola. I didn't know there was any more stimulus checks floating around out there. Has anybody received a stimulus check? I know there's a guy that does a YouTube channel that pushes that, there's like 5 stimulus checks a week. So I don't know if this is unfortunately or possibly from him. So, all right. So for those of you submitting questions, just remember at the end here, I'm going to put up a number you can call in and we'll take your question live over the phone if you care to, or you can elaborate on it. Philip?
All right. Is it wise to contact the congressman of your state, even though I have a lawyer on my disability case since 2019? I'm getting discouraged.
Wow, that's a long time. Um,
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of variables in a case, and your attorney is likely not going to contact them directly because they're not allowed, or even a non-attorney representative is something that you need to do. My advice on that is to make sure that your case is in a is in good shape. Let's put it that way, that all your medical records are on file, all of the evidence that is going to be required for Social Security to make an accurate and thorough evaluation and decision. And if your case has exceeded the expected timelines, so for example, earlier today, I indicated the 233-day wait time. If you're at 300 days and haven't received a decision yet, and your case is in good shape, definitely go for it.
All right. Question, function reports, RFC reports, daily function report for whatever they're called, or whatever they're called. Are they sent to everyone?
Yes, they are, and they're critical. Yep. Critical meaning how you answer the questions on those. And we have the directions for how to answer these in an interview with Carl Osterhow, attorney Carl Osterhow, in our disability approval course. But they have a real powerful influence on your case in helping you get approved. If you don't get approved at the early stage and you go to court, the questions that you're going to be asked from the judge are the questions in and around, like, do you do the shopping? Do you have pets? Do you feed the pets? Do you do house cleaning? That type of stuff. So they're important and everybody gets them. Let me
When you
see here.
file for SSDI, are you automatically applied for SSI at the same time?
No, you're not. There's a separate box on the application. I think the form, you can look at it online. It's SSA 1693, I believe. So both of those boxes need to be checked. If only one is checked, then no.
Okay.
Let's see here. I've got one over here. I'm hoping to get a decision soon. Applied April of 22, still waiting. Oh, that's a long time. Yeah. All right, Philip, back to you.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Still looking.
All right. Question equals, do you need to something about pay back short-term disability insurance if you get back pay? Usually you don't. Actually, there's something I want to bring up that I learned about. Speaking of things that are causing people to get paid back, let me find it here in my notes. I'm going to hold it for next week because I had some supporting information. It was about Medicaid. There's some states I learned that if you're on Medicaid, that you could be required to pay back some of the resources if you own a house. So we'll get into that in our next live.
Here's one. Recently retired Army vet, 100% VA, PNT, and for those that don't know, PNT is permanent and total. Age 44, currently living, Texas brother, San Antonio, seeking guidance on most successful steps to claim SSDI.
Yeah. What do you say, Philip?
Make sure all of your medical records at the VA jive with what you're going to be filing on and are accurate and complete.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
even though you're 100% VA vet, that doesn't mean a whole lot with Social Security. I mean,
no.
it helps for sure, but it's no guarantee.
So on our YouTube channel, there is a veterans and disability benefits playlist, and there there's information in there that would be helpful for you. There's 4 challenges that veterans face in getting their disability benefits approved. And to be aware of those and understand how to work your way through them is definitely going to be helpful for you. There's just a recent story, a success story from Sherman that's in that. So if you're not able to find it, you can, leave a comment on our YouTube channel, or if you're a member here at the Disability Digest and you were invited to this event via email, just reply back and reference that, and we'll make sure that you get it. And then, of course, use our disability approval course so that you are making sure that you're doing the right thing at each step of the way. But yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I see Katie out there. Katie, and Black Friday sales are phenomenal. That's good news. I have not done any shopping yet.
But I
So
don't have to.
yeah, yeah.
Gives me chills thinking about
Yep. So we're going to take a few more questions for sure, but if you would like to call in with your question, and I'll take the question over the phone. I'm going to turn my phone system on, and you'll have 3 minutes in fairness. But just call this number that's on the screen to talk Turkey, 844-202-5609, and then press option 1, and then the extension that I'm sitting on right here is 15. So option 1 and then 15, and we will take your call. So yeah, let's see what else we have for questions. Philip?
Go ahead if you got some.
Let's see. I have a question. I've been on disability since 2006. I've had reviews, one every 3 to 5 years, and I'm confused to go and get my meds, but don't document the limitations. It's kind of a broken up message, Brett, but I believe the key point here is for disability insurance is understanding how to manage your doctor's appointments when you go in there. And we teach you on this channel to journal in between, have a list of your limitations, bring them in on a simple, ideally lined piece of paper every visit. I can't sit for more than 15 minutes. I'm not able to stand for more than 20 minutes. And I just see that somebody called in. If you'd welcome to call back because the call got dropped. And make sure that you hand that to your doctors, and that is in your medical records. So the reason why you want to do this is when Social Security is either reviewing your medical records to help you get approved or for your continuing disability review, as they see that you're treated. And despite the treatment, there's limitations that prevent you from working.
Post the phone number one more time, would you please?
Yeah, I will. I'm just going to clean this up over here so somebody can. Oh. Hello, welcome. This is Brian Terrian. This is not Philip. This is Brian. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, hey, Brian. You were talking and I had to pause you on the screen because I couldn't hear who I was talking to. This is Katie.
Katie! How are you, dear?
I'm making it, but it's been a little rough. I've lost out on 3 properties now, so I finally am under contract, and I'm hoping that this one will be the one. It was nothing to do with anything I had done. It was the seller's issues and the realtor's issues. So
okay. Okay.
So it's been a little bit crazy dealing with all this, and then I finally have figured out what's wrong with me. Well, that's a loaded question, But I have figured out the newest thing that's been the past year or two. I have high cortisol. So I don't know if that means I have Cushing's or if it's just stress related or what, but all the insomnia and throwing up and the night sweats and all that. Problem is I don't have a doctor to read those results.
So is there a question that's tied to all this, Katie?
Oh, yes, I was just kind of talking. There was a question. Let me think for a minute because, you know, my cognitive with this mystery illness. The question, what is the question? Hold on, give me a minute. I'm so sorry. I know I'm taking up your time.
I just want to make sure, Philip and everybody else, can you hear Katie as she's thinking through her?
Yes.
Okay. All
Quite
right.
clear.
Oh, I didn't know everybody could hear me.
Oh,
while I was
you're
sitting there just
live to the
rambling.
world. There's no secrets here.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey,
Guys
Katie.
from Florida.
Yeah.
It's actually a little chilly today. I'm trying to think of what my question is. Oh, do you pay taxes? Like, okay, so they hold the 5 months back
Right.
when you get back pay. So that first 5 months you don't even think about.
Right.
So then the lawyer's amount comes out.
Yeah.
So do you pay taxes on that, or does that flat fee just come out first and then you pay taxes on the remainder?
So your tax status is outlined in your award letter. Without knowing your personal situation, which I don't care to in a public environment like this,
Yes.
I would say that it is possible that you pay taxes. And this, of course, applies for everybody. It says right on your award letter, if you're over this amount, then you know this is what you're going to pay. And so I encourage people to look at it this way. If you're paying taxes on back benefits, that means that you got a lot of them or you've got other money in your household. So,
Okay.
all right.
All right. Well, that makes sense, and I figured it was something to that effect.
Good. Great. Well, listen, in fairness to others, I thank you for calling in. We're going to open the line for somebody else. I wish you well.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You bet. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. So for anybody else who wants to call in, the number's on the screen. We got another caller coming in. Hello, this is Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi. Who am I speaking with?
This is Katrina.
Hi,
I have a question.
Katrina.
I know I'm listening too, so let me
Yeah,
pause this.
I hear myself in the background.
It's okay. I am a caregiver and a daughter for my parents, which are both disabled.
Okay.
So my question is, with a trust, they have properties and they own them, and I want to, well, it's actually a family property. I do want to renovate them, but I want to ask the question is, do I do estate planning and put it into a trust? So if it liquidates the property and it's kind of not like linked to them, so it maximizes, you know, what they can get for benefits, or?
That's a good question, Katrina. And frankly, it's like that would fall into an estate planning, which is not my area of expertise, but I would encourage you to head in that direction. Is the renovation that you're going to be doing have any accessibility component to it? Like,
Yeah.
It
like,
is?
what are you saying?
Handrails need to have a wider doorway to get a mobility equipment through, anything like that? Ramps to get into the house, lifts to get upstairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of it I've had, and the other ones would be just to have the properties livable.
Yeah.
So that would be just and he's a veteran also, so I would try to, see if they would help me on that side. But I just was trying to get the what direction I needed to be headed in for as.
Yeah.
And you pretty much told me the legal part, go to estate planning.
Yeah.
So that was my question, where did I need to go?
Yeah, I would say definitely one would be estate planning for the structure and how to do it. And then two would be where can I find resources to assist with the finances of it. And that could be the Veterans Administration. If you're a member here at the Disability Digest or your local Center for Independent Living, but we have guidance that could get you to that. And you could, once you get the structure set up and say, listen, this is where we live, this is what we need to do. Do you know of any resources that would help me offset the financial cost, Katrina? That would be the second step. Yeah.
Okay, so what if it was connected to is it business oriented? So it's a business. So
when you
that would be separate.
When you say a business, what do you mean by that?
It's real estate.
It's still not clear to me what you mean by business. So you do
they're rental properties.
Oh, they're rental properties. Okay.
Like a LLC.
Okay. So, but with the rental properties, are the tenants are whom? You mentioned your parents?
No, there are no tenants right now.
Okay.
Due to the condition of the property.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that falls, here at the Disability Digest, it's a bit of an outlying question. If I come across vague, it's just because I don't know. It's not an area like the trust and the real estate, and that is not something that we get a lot of questions on. But the two starting points I'm confident on. Find somebody that can advise you on the structure, estate planning, and then look for resources, local financial resources.
Okay.
All right.
And I will look into that membership also.
All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Same to you.
All right.
Same to you and the team.
Bye. Okay. The line is going to be open for, I believe. Okay. Line is open for any other calls. Philip, you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Let me just check over here.
Let me look here.
For anybody else who wants to talk turkey, we'll take another call. Let's see if there's anything else in the group here. Okay, here we go. Oh, whoever it was just hung up. I hope it wasn't something I said. Okay, line is open again. All right, we've got one here. It says, I can't use a tool like voice over the phone. I'm just listening today. All right. Well, thanks for joining. Hello and welcome. This is Brian. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Raquel.
Hi, Raquel. Where are you calling from?
Idaho.
Idaho. Never been there. How can I help you?
I had a question. So currently I work full-time. If I'm unable to continue working full-time, and if I qualified for disability and still be able to work part-time, would my income be close to what I make working full-time between the two, or would it be a lot less?
Well, I can help you figure that out as long as you're willing to let everybody in the audience, ask, I'm going to ask some diagnostic questions of the two. Is that all right?
Okay.
So your current income now, monthly, is how much?
Before taxes?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to guesstimate. Let's say it's 4,000.
4,000 a month. Okay. And do you know your Social Security disability check amount?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've looked, but I want to say it was not a whole lot. I want to say it was maybe 1,200.
Okay. Are you over or under 50?
Over.
And you, over the last, like your work history, like have you had a solid career for like how many years?
I mean, I've worked my whole life, but full time for the last, oh gosh, I mean, for sure the last 6 years, but while raising kids and stuff, I did
Right.
sometimes part-time.
Okay. All right. So 1,200 is certainly possible. I mean, if you have been earning at that level for like 6 years, my hunch is maybe your age 62 amount was 1,200 and your disability amount is higher, but let's just use the 1,200, 1,200. All right. So if your gross right now is 4,000, your take home is what, like 3,000, something like that, around there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you get approved for your Social Security disability, you would be receiving the $1,200 a month in this example. And then you could work part-time. And as of this year right now, it's $1,050 a month, but it's going up slightly in 2024. But it really would be best to keep your earnings in like say the $800 range. So that would put you around 2,000. So you would be like $1,000 less in cash flow, in this example. Unless you did something like, for your part-time work, if you were like if you were like an insurance agent, and the residuals that you earn from insurance policies are not counted as accountable income, or if you had like rental property, that's not counted towards the $1,050. So there's a few kind of outlier type examples. Yep.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
It is. So without those things, then it would definitely be less.
Based on the $1,200 that you gave me, yeah, but I would check in your my SSA online account to confirm that, because it may be, if that 1,200 was your age 62 amount, then it's likely your disability amount would be closer to like 1,500, 1,600. So then there would be like a $500 gap. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I have a few tips for you while you're now, one of which I went over today. Make sure you have short-term, long-term disability so you can survive the wait. And you can still buy it if you're in your 50s, right? So if you don't have that, I would definitely look into that. Find out your check amount for financial planning purposes. And then also the tips that I shared today, about like what you need to do with your treatment and your diagnosis and all of that. That piece is really super important, because if you get it right now and you're being treated and your limitations are documented, it could really make the difference for you, Raquel, and getting approved at your initial application stage, which would be in like
Okay.
7 to 9 months rather than slugging it out for a year or 3 years, sorry. So are you a member here at the Disability Digest?
Yes.
Okay. So you can just reach out to us at support, and we've got a list of things that you should be doing right now that is part of our disability approval course. So if these are not familiar to you, what I've shared with you, just contact us and we'll make sure that you get those. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Well, thanks for calling in. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right. You bet. Be well. Okay, we'll take one, maybe two more calls. Welcome. This is Brian Terrian. Who am I speaking with?
Really super important because if you get it right now and you're being
Hello.
treated, your limitations are documented.
All right. Not sure what happened there. I hear myself when I pick up the phone. Kind of scary. Okay. I think I've answered all of the questions. I'm going to pause my phone here because I'm looking at the time. Philip, anything else on your side that you want to address? I think your audio. Oh, there you are. Now I hear you. Okay. All right. Good. Well, listen, as we wrap up here today, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your holiday schedule. I wish you a safe and joyful holiday. May you manage your spoons well. And Philip, thank you for your participation. It's
Glad to be
great
here.
to have you here. Difficult to do it without you. So,
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you have
yes.
a great holiday.
Yes, have a great holiday. We'll be back next week, everybody. Make it a great day. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everybody.